Girls and their cute little jackets, they gonna get you every time. Boys and they're oh so rugged aftershave, they gonna get you every time. We think we're so much smarter now. Look at how we used to live, and we laugh at those modest days when nobody can win. Girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Girls showing just enough cleavage to call a guy a creep when he is looking, but not the guy that she wants looking. Boys want their finger in every pie. One could never be enough in his mind. There's too much to stuff in. We're so much smarter now. Look at how we used to live. There's a hole that you'll never fill when you're out chasing phony thrills. Night and day, girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. There's a hole that you'll never fill when you're out chasing phony thrills. Night and day, girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you girls and boys.
That's right. Swag City Radio Station where artists go global, man. Yo, that one's all the way from Jude, Perl, man. Yo, I'm so excited about this guest that's coming into the swag universe. When I say I'm excited about this guest that's coming into the swag universe, I can't even mean to get you there. It is crazy. I heard this artist on YouTube and I was just like, I love indie artists. I love entertainment. I love people who bring something different, and definitely this person that I'm about to bring on right now is definitely doing that. But here she is without delay, my artist of the day, Miss Jude Perl. What's going on?
Hey D, how you going?
Oh, I'm awesome. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
Oh, that's good. So, what is Jude Perl? I mean, I know I'm not gonna throw your name out there, but I'm like, how'd you come up with that? What's going on with that?
That's my name.
Oh, Jude, and last name Perl?
Yeah. So, my name is Judith, but everyone calls me Jude. So, since I was a teenager.
How'd that come about? Was it like short for rude? Like, this girl is just rude, and you're like, you know what? Just call me Jude.
Well, yeah, I think there's a lot of good words that rhyme with Jude, like crude, nude.
Right.
Dude. I don't think that's a word, but yeah. So I don't know. I think I just didn't really. Some people, I don't know. I really didn't like being called Judy, and that just really irks me. And Judith, I don't know. I just didn't. It always felt more correct when people called me Jude. And I was a really big Beatles fan, so that probably also had something to do with it. I was listening to Hey Jude and when I was a kid.
Right. So what led you to a career in music? What made you want to say, you know what, this is what I'm meant to be, or what I'm meant to do?
Well, it kind of happened fairly naturally. I mean, when I finished high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I had done a whole bunch of like creative subjects in school, and I really loved all of them. So, but I sort of took some time off, and I started working, and in my free time, I just ended up playing music all the time. That's just kind of what I did, you know, in my time off. So it just made sense that it just sort of happened. It wasn't like
right.
It wasn't really a decision. It was more just like, well, this is obviously, you know, something that I love doing more than anything else, and you know, it's always been something I've loved doing. I just, you know, needed that time, I think, after school to finish to figure out that that's actually what I wanted to do.
Right. So I have to say, like, so let's just say besides the Beatles and the song, you know, and doing that, what other artists inspire you?
Oh my gosh.
She's like, oh my gosh, this is the one I was waiting on. Like everybody just waiting on me to answer this.
Well, I just feel like there's so many, but I mean, I think Stevie Wonder would be probably like my biggest musical hero, and I just love, you know, listening to him so much, like a lot of people, I'm sure. And
wait, what's your favorite Stevie song?
My favorite song, Stevie song?
Yeah.
All I Do. I think that's my favorite. That's been consistently my favorite song of all time ever since I heard it, like 6 years ago, or whenever I first heard it. I can't remember. That song just is. Yeah, that song just gets me every time I listen to it.
It's like, yeah, that song. That one. You know what my favorite song is? Shetty and More.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
it's
song.
Just like when you hear it, you just like it makes you want to smile.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, so many of his songs are like that, I think. I mean, actually, that's the first song I ever heard, because I didn't grow up listening to Stevie Wonder. I listened to like a lot of the Beatles and Carole King and Simon and Garfunkel. Like that's the kind of stuff I grew up listening to, which I really love all of that. And then because I'm from Australia, I think I had this like best of Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live video somehow when I was a teenager, and there's this really awesome sketch with like Stevie Wonder trying to audition to be a Stevie Wonder impersonator. And I don't know if you've seen it, but yeah, it's with Eddie Murphy, and he sings that song, and like it's not going to be funny if I say the whole sketch, but anyway, he sings it, and my mind just exploded, and I think I watched that clip like 50 times and just kept rewinding it and going, well, how is this voice so beautiful? It's just amazing.
Hey, that's how you made it. You know what? I haven't been to Australia personally, but I did. I think it was about a month ago. I interviewed another artist from Australia. His name's
cool.
Keenan Longsdale or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he does like stuff for MTV and stuff like that. And I was like, he was just telling me
Great.
You know, I was like, why did they go Aussie, Aussie, Aussie? And he was just like, man, that's the chant. I'm like, okay. You know, so so let me ask you, what I want to know, like, if you, let's just say tomorrow you get signed, you get the big record deal, and then the CEO comes in and says, hey, if you could work with anybody right now, who would it be? Current music.
If I could work with anyone,
let's do a duet. Let's make it happen right now. Platinum, instant platinum. Who would it be?
Oh my gosh, I think if I could pick anybody, I'd probably pick a comedian, because there are so many comedians that I love. I mean, if I could pick anyone musically, I would probably pick like Janelle Monáe, because she's one of my favorite people, or Sia. I love Sia as well, and but I feel like I love comedians like I don't know if Flight of the Conchords I don't know if they're big in America or not. I mean, they had a show here, but they're a New Zealand group, like, and they're a musical duo. Like, I would love to do stuff with them, but I mean, yeah, probably Janelle Monáe or Sia. They're like my two favorite people doing music stuff at the moment.
Now, I noticed like you incorporate comedy, I guess, into some of your YouTube videos, from what I remember.
Yes.
And like,
Yes.
what made me, reach out to you was I seen you had the bear costume and you were doing what song was that? I don't even remember right now. It's like I drew a blank, but you were wearing the bear costume and you're with the keyboard, and I'm like, she can't be serious.
The zebra. Sorry, you say zebra here. The
Zebra,
zebra
yeah.
outfit.
Yeah.
And I think it was a Marvin Gaye cover.
Yeah,
Sexual
that's
Healing.
exactly what it was. I was like, she is not serious. I don't know how to feel about it because I was laughing at you, and then at the same time too, I was like, she can actually sing, and I was like, I got to have her on the show, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. She's in the, it's I guess I don't know what you were going for, but tell me about that. What was that all about?
Well, I mean, with that song in particular, and I mean, there's a few songs that I'm working on now that I haven't released yet that are kind of in this vein. But for me, like, obviously I've been singing for a really long time, and I feel like I kind of say it a little bit in the video, but it's a bit hard to know how serious I'm being. But there is, like, as a female singer, I definitely feel like there is, there is this kind of push to get to be really sexy, and not that there's anything wrong with being sexy. I don't think being sexy is a bad thing at all. I think it's great, but it's sort of, there's a fine line between, I guess, being yourself. Like, I think when I think of being sexy, I think it's being confident and being genuine and being true to yourself. And I think those people are they're the most attractive people because they're just being genuine and they're being themselves. And for me, like, I've often, especially when I was younger, I've often had people tell me about, because, I'm a singer and I'm singing, poppy music or dancey music, it's like, that, I need to be less kind of awkward and less, sort of, and when I perform, like, I talk a lot and I really like doing that, but, sometimes people will tell me just to not talk so much and try and be, like, more, I guess more sexy and more feminine, and for me, it was something that I just never could really do and feel like I was being myself. So it's kind of like that. But at the same time, like, I love Marvin Gaye and I love, D'Angelo, and I love all these singers that do this, like, they just sing this music and it's so sexy and so, awesome, and I love that music. So this is kind of like my, as a neurotic Jewish girl, like, this is kind of my take on that stuff, and it's like I still really, I don't know if any of what I said just made sense, but like
actually it did. In my opinion, I don't know if you've done a really official video yet, but if you were, I would suggest, since you want to kind of do sexy but comedic / neurotic / like, still people know that you can still sing. I would do like a Saturday Night Live type skit thing where it's like, with the goofy boyfriend, and you're trying to be sexy, and then yet you're it just comes off clumsy, but at the end he's just letting you know, like, I still like you regardless. I would think think that would be dope for you, just because I see that. I can picture the video because I've seen you do a couple of your YouTube videos and costumes, and I'm just like, I can picture you trying to be the nerdy girl or the average girl, trying to be sexy to impress the nerdy guy, and he's just like, I like you regardless, I think, and that would fit actually with your Girls and Boys song too. So that would be dope. I mean, I just see it. So let me ask you, what are your thoughts on today's music, like the trends in music today?
Well, I mean, there's so much. Like, there's so many people doing different things. I mean, which is obviously that's what's happening. But I mean, it's really like, I mean, talking specifically about maybe like female pop singers as well. Like, I guess this, I really love Janelle Monáe for that reason that I was saying before. Is like, she is, to me, it's like she's a singer that really embodies, she's so confident, and she has such an amazing, you know, persona on stage, but she's doing it with, like, she has so much self-respect. And I think, like, in pop music, you know, there is that, like, I feel like there's a lot of singers that I actually really like, I really respect, but then when I see their videos, I kind of, just as my personal taste, I sort of go, oh, I don't feel so fantastic about it now that I'm kind of seeing what you're pushing, and it doesn't feel genuine to me all the time. I mean, but then again, sometimes it is, and sometimes in order for someone to be themselves, they really have to, you know, be wearing something that's very revealing, and it actually works, and it's totally cool. It's not like I'm saying, oh, everyone should not, you know, wear revealing clothing or, you know, be talking about sex, but it's more just that I get put off by some of the visual stuff because I just feel like, you know, oh, it's not really necessary. You don't actually need that because you're really good. You're a really great singer. You're a really great songwriter. And this is kind of, for my personal taste, it's kind of going, oh, and put a little bit of a, you know, not great taste in my mouth, if that kind of makes sense. No,
it makes perfect sense. I mean, I'm not straying away from it. So let me ask you, like, how'd you come up with I love it. Now, by the way, I love the track Girls and Boys. You know, that track inspired to me. I love it. It's got like a goofy high school campy type deal. And then, like I said, I imagine you doing it. So I really see it like in that same fashion because I had a visual of you with, you know, your YouTube videos. So I think your fans can definitely appreciate the song. But like I said, I can visualize the video. But how did you come about that song, and you know, who produced it, and you know, what was going on?
So the song, I guess I wrote it a couple of, maybe 2-3 years ago, and it is, I mean, I guess it's kind of the same thing we were talking about. It's sort of my, you know, how I feel about, I guess, particularly how girls portray themselves sometimes, and myself included, and it's just sort of how we, you know, I guess we kind of don't treat ourselves with very much respect, or as much respect as maybe we should. And so I had this song, and then I released an EP about 1.5 years ago, and this song was on it. And I actually got it produced by someone in LA, and it sort of, I pushed it a lot in Australia. And the video was a really good friend of mine who does a lot of my visual, my posters and stuff like that. She's really awesome. She came up with the idea for the video, which I really liked, and it kind of added another, for me anyway, it just added this extra layer of depth in what the song was about for me, and that it's kind of adults acting like kids, and then kids trying to act like adults, and there's like this weird imbalance of, you know, I guess people not treating each other and themselves with respect, I guess. Yeah. I don't know if that answered your question, actually.
Hey, you know, it definitely answers, you definitely answers my question, as long as it answers your question. So, to me, I want to know also too, what's the one thing that would surprise, you know, people to learn about you? Like,
the one thing that would surprise people, I mean, maybe I was born in Texas, and I live in Melbourne, and now I'm in LA. I guess that's a little surprising. But in terms of, do you mean like more in terms of music and stuff like that? Just in general, like not musically, but just something goofy and personal about you that most people wouldn't even like. Wow, really? She likes to separate all her gummy bears in different colors. I can think of two things that sort of come to my mind at first. The first thing is that I started doing stand-up comedy this year, so I don't know if that's a surprising thing, and that's been really fun. That's just been doing that in Melbourne. And the other thing that might be surprising is that I am like an insane fan of The Nanny. I love that show so abnormally, and it's like I get made fun of a lot by my friends because of how much I love that show, and it's ridiculous. So there's that. It's another thing I can think of.
So you're a big fan of Fran Drescher?
Yes, and mainly I'm a really big fan of Yetta, the grandmother. Like, she's just, because it's just like, I know these people, even though they're from New York, it's different, but it's like the grandmother especially is just everything she says. I'm like, oh my God, that is amazing. So that's not a very, I wish I could say something really cool, like, oh, I'm actually like a professional skydiver, but instead I'm going to go with that I really like The Nanny. That's kind of my wild secret. It's not very extreme, but...
Wow. So let's get into your track, Girls and Boys. So you want to introduce it?
How do I want to introduce it?
Yeah, do you introduce your song? Let's get into your track.
Okay. This is Girls and Boys by Jude Perl, which is me, and it is a song about girls and boys and girls, and I hope that you like it. I think that you're better at the introductions than I am, D. But. Hey,
this is D. Williams, Jude Perl, right here live, Swag City Radio, Girls and Boys. Let's go.
Girls and their cute little jackets, they gonna get you every time. Boys and they're oh so rugged aftershave, they gonna get you every time. We think we're so much smarter now. Look at how we used to live, and we laugh at those modest days when nobody can win. Girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Girls showing just enough cleavage to call a guy a creep when he is looking, but not the guy that she wants looking. Boys want their finger in every pie. One could never be enough in his mind. There's too much to stuff in. We're so much smarter now. Look at how we used to live. There's a hole that you'll never fill when you're out chasing phony thrills. Night and day. Girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. There's a hole that you'll never fill when you're out chasing phony thrills. Night and day. Girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn.
That's right. Swag City Radio, Jude Perl, Girls and Boys, Boys and Girls, however you want to say it. Man, I'm just, you know what? That's my new ringtone song. That's my ringtone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to make it a ringtone. I'm sorry. So when people hear it, they be like, what what is that? I like it. You get out to the bar and it's just like playing in this awkward silence, and they just look at you like, "Hey, what's this guy doing?" So, what do you have any upcoming shows? What's going on? Like, you got to the LA scene. You said you were doing a gig last night, and that's one of the reasons why we couldn't talk last night. But, do you have anything going on in LA right now?
I have a show this Sunday at the Viper Room on Sunset Strip, and so I'm here mostly to work on new songs. I've got I'm trying to get an album. I'm in the middle of working on an album, so that's the main reason I'm here. But I'm doing a few shows while I'm here, and so I've got one this Sunday at the Viper Room, and I have a few in July as well, which I'll be posting all of them up on my Facebook page. So I will have a couple more in July as well.
So I want to know, like, what are you doing social media wise to promote yourself?
Well, I'm on all of the social media things like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and all of those things. And I just start off by reaching out to people that I know who are in LA, because it's obviously a lot easier for me in Melbourne, because I know, I have my fan base there, and I live there, so it's really easy for me to promote a show. So here it is, especially just because I moved here like just a bit over 2 weeks ago. So but it's actually been like I did a show last week, and I sort of had more people come down than I expected, which was really a really nice surprise.
That had to be awesome. It really did.
It was really lovely that to see people, especially there were a few people there that I haven't seen since I was like 5 years old. That some old friends, the family friends and stuff. So that was really cool. And then meeting lots of new people, and it is. I find it. I think it's so cool. When people come down and like they say, they found you on YouTube or on the net, and they're like they come down to see your show because they find you on the net, and that to me is like that's when social media is so amazing, because it when you're on social media, it's kind of, there are times when it doesn't feel real because it's just you're at a computer, they're at a computer, you're just looking at written words, like it's sort of hard to communicate with people to in a certain way, and then when people actually come down, you get to meet them, and I find that really exciting and really cool. So I just kind of start by people that I know and just say, look, if you feel like coming along, I'd love to see you. And
I do have to say, and I'm sorry I didn't even give you a compliment, but you are very beautiful. I mean, even with the stuff on your face and your one thing. No, you're very beautiful. I love your hairstyle. It's very artistic. I love that. I love artistic people, but I meant to tell you, I seen your picture and I was like, oh wow, she's very beautiful. Surprise.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
And you would never know that voice comes out of that quirky little person, because of one of the pictures I saw on your Facebook was looked like you were in a movie theater and you just kind of threw the popcorn, you were just stuffing it in your face, and I was just like, I love that. I am the weirdest person when it comes to women, because I love quirky. I love that because I feel like a relationship should never be boring. So I just feel like if you have somebody who's just as goofy and that, it just keep you laughing for a long time, even when I'm mad at you. But yeah, it's like, I agree. You're definitely beautiful. And now I want to know, and I'm sure like some fans might want to know out there, like, I mean, have you had, like, do guys, do they feel intimidated to approach you, or?
Sorry, it just cut out when you said that. Can you just repeat that question?
I said, do guys, like, do they feel like you're intimidating to try to approach?
Well, I guess I wouldn't know, because if they were, I would never know if they were. But I mean, I wouldn't think that they would, because like I'm definitely not. I wouldn't describe myself as someone who's like, you know, really cool, and I'm not trying to fish for compliments and say, I mean, it's kind of something that I'm a bit proud of, is that I feel like I make fun of myself a lot, and I really enjoy doing that, and I love talking about things that make me uncool. Like, I find it really cathartic, especially when I'm on stage, is like to admit, you know, like if I'm on stage and, you know, I almost trip over something, it's like, well, I'm going to talk about the fact that I almost tripped over for about 20 seconds. And so I wouldn't imagine that guys get intimidated by me, but I guess I wouldn't know, because if they did, they would never say anything to me. But I definitely don't feel like, you know, when I was in high school and stuff, I don't think that I was one of those girls that intimidated guys. I think I was more one of those girls that just sort of confused guys, and just what they were like, well, I don't understand why you're wearing like a giant Hugh Hefner cardigan to school. And I'm like, because I want to, you know, just, I think that it was more that I possibly just made them like raise their eyebrows and going, I don't understand. But as I've gotten older, I found the people that do understand, which is really nice, and I hope that that's everyone's experience post high school, is that you find the people that understand that your weirdness is awesome, which is what life is all about.
Definitely.
I guess.
I definitely would have, if we were in high school together, I probably would have ended up dating you, honestly. You know, I'd have been like, you know, I would have just approached you and said, you know, I love your style. Let's make it happen, Captain. You know, and just, we went from there. So, I have a question. My question is, how do people find you, like social media wise? Where can they look for you? YouTube, Facebook, etc.
Well, you can find everything from my website. And so my name is Jude, like Hey Jude, like the Beatles song. And my last name is Perl. It's like the pearls that you wear, but without the A. So it's Perl. So if you Google Jude Perl, or if you go to YouTube or Facebook and you type that in, I should be the first thing to come up. But my website's just judeperl.com, and you can find heaps of, like, you can find me on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and everything from there. But yeah, so it shouldn't be, as long as you spell my last name right, it shouldn't be hard to find me on the web.
So it's like, it's not hard to find me. So I also too want to know, like, do you want to give any shout outs or anything like that?
Do I want to give any shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs to wherever you want to give a shout out to.
Oh, jeez. I didn't even know where to start. I guess I would like to give a shout out to my friend who I told you she came up with the idea for Girls and Boys, and she's a video editor, and she's in New York working on a documentary at the moment, and her name is Hypatia Porter, and she's awesome. I'd like to give a shout out to her because she's great, and we're working on a bunch of stuff at the moment together, which I'm really excited about, but it's in the early stages, so I'll sort of wait to announce anything about it. But
when she gets done, we're definitely gonna have to bring her on the show and talk about her projects. Definitely, you have to keep me updated on that. You know, I'm always. It's not just about music here at Swag City Radio. It's about just upcoming artists. Just, you know, whether if your artist is, you know, in cooking or, you know, directing, you know, poetry, you know, whatever. We want to let the world know what you're about.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead. So,
Sorry?
what advice would you give to any upcoming, like, artists that are, you know, like, just getting started?
Sorry, did you say what's my advice for upcoming artists?
Yeah, like, that are just getting started.
Sure. My advice is, like, when it comes to songwriting, this is just based on my experience, is that, like, songwriting, I feel like there's a misconception that you're either good at it or you're not good at it. And I think that's such a lie. And my advice and I've said this, like, if I've given workshops and stuff in Melbourne, like, I always just say that it's like any other skill, you just have to work at it. And, like, I wasn't naturally good at songwriting at all, but I spent a lot of time doing it, and now I feel, that I'm better at it. So, and I just remember thinking for a really long time that I'm like, oh, you're either good at it or you're not good at it, and that's it. So, and it's like anything, like same with performing and same with singing or playing an instrument. It's like we all have our different natural abilities, but it's just the key. I feel like the key to everything is just to keep working at it and to persevere, and also just that, everybody is, trying to find their way, and never to, like, look at other people and see, go, oh, wow, like, they're so successful and they're doing so well, like, why should I even bother? Like, which is, I think, a thought process that can sometimes come into our heads, and to never kind of let that thought process take over, because it's so not about that. It's about everybody just learning about their craft and just trying to get better and trying to, express themselves. And, if you look at it that way, you just trying to appreciate what everybody is expressing, and because everybody expresses something differently, and, not to compare yourself to other people, I guess. So that would be my advice.
Okay. So, now I have a personal request, if that's possible.
Okay.
I would love to hear you sing a little something, preferably something like do a radio drop. You're listening to Swag City Radio.
You want me to sing it?
Yeah, sure. I would love it.
So you're listening to Swag City Radio, and you want me to sing it?
Well, it's actually, you're listening to Swag City Radio, the station where artists go global.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? My phone just cut out again.
No, I was saying you're listening to Swag City Radio, the station where artists go global.
The station where artists go global. And you want me to sing it?
If you can.
Okay. You're listening to Swag City Radio, the station where artists go global.
That's so dope. That's so dope. I love that. That's pure talent, y'all. I mean, she got me excited. I felt like the chest hairs just poke up. They were like, what? She can sing. She can actually. And you know what's crazy about that? And I'm going to say it right now. That was so jazzy. That was the first person that ever done it jazzy. I mean, jazzy that's different. I like it. Real talent. Definitely send me information. I'll try to make it out to the Viper Room on Sunday to come check you out. I mean, I would love to, just from that alone. I mean, I'm a new fan.
I can perform that. I can sing that again at the Viper Room.
Oh man, definitely. But definitely text me information, and if there's like a special guest list, whatever, let me know. So I can definitely try to come down and see you perform. I would love to. I try to when we do indie artists. I definitely try to come out and support. I think it's important. Because I'm a new fan. So definitely. Well,
thanks, Dee. I really appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. Well, I have enjoyed this interview. That you are so awesome, and I see definitely a bright future with you in this industry, man. Like for real. And if I saw you, and I usually have a good eye for talent, and I hope somebody else out there does, and takes you to the levels you, or at least provide you the opportunity to go to the levels that you want to, perspire to. And then just, I think you'll do the rest. Your charisma will take you far.
Oh, thank you so much, Dee. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been awesome getting to chat to you. So thank you.
Well, definitely. So that's right, y'all. Swag City Radio, D. Williams, Jude, Perl, right here live. We're going to go back and get back into our track real quick. Boys and girls, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Dee.
No problem.
Girls and their cute little jackets, they gonna get you every time. Boys and they're oh so rugged aftershave, they gonna get you every time. We think we're so much smarter now. Look at how we used to live, and we laugh at those modest days when nobody can win. Girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Telling you girls and boys, we got a lot to learn. Telling you boys and girls, we got a lot to learn. Girls showing just enough cleavage to call a guy a creep when he is looking, but not the guy that she wants looking. Boys want their finger in every pie. One could never be enough in his mind. There's too much to stuff in.